Hi, welcome to the Enterprise Apps Pod. I'm Melody Brue, and I'm joined by Robert Kramer, who is live at IBM Think in Boston. Today, we're going to be unpacking how watsonx.data platform is transforming the way enterprises unlock the power of generative AI by tackling one of the biggest challenges in AI adoption, which is making sense of vast, complex data. So, Robert, how you doing? How's it been over there?
Good. It's 2 full days of the event, and here we are. I'm excited to talk about it, but it's great. I'm in Boston, and we're wrapping up, so as you can see.
Yeah. So it's I saw you've already published one of your, I'm sure, many thoughts of what's to come from Think, but and we'll link that in wherever you're watching this from, as you've joined us here. But one of your major kind of highlights was really the evolution of watsonx data and scaling generative AI in enterprises. So what's your big highlight in terms of Think 2025?
I think the highlight is it's designated as a key platform, watsonx data, like you said, scaling generative AI, but helping business tackle fragmented data or unstructured data to pull that data into being used, because enterprises are really only barely tapping unstructured data, which they say it's about 1%, which is absolutely a significant amount of data not being used.
Hmm. Yeah. So 1% of their data, and I think 90%, as you said, was unstructured data scattered across multiple systems. So how does watsonx help solve that
So,
issue?
so it's able to bring, that's a great question. So it's able to bring this data from all the different elements that it could be in, from hybrid to cloud to on-premise into a unified platform where it's able to take that into a lake house and utilize that data. And the AI models want to be able to utilize your data versus non your data, obviously, by bringing together all this information. And then they're pulling it together, obviously, with structured data as well.
So what new features did IBM introduce for watsonx data at Think this year?
Great question. So they have a watsonx data intelligence. They have a watsonx data integration, which brings a lot of that information into the platform, but then also to make intelligence. But then at the same time, there's a governance behind it as well. So there's also behind all of this is DB2 announced a few different things as well, DB assistant, and it's able to all put this gift wrap it together with a platform is able to do a little bit more than was done before, but focusing specifically on unstructured data and the elements behind using automation and AI.
So, one of the things that you talked about in your article that I think is so important, and I think maybe people underestimate a little bit, is the amount of readiness that it requires companies beyond technology to adopt AI. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It could either be a personality, of the innovation aptitude of a company. It could be what you really just need to do. So it's a matter of being prepared, having your data being cleaned. It's having your data being ready and categorized. It's having your data being, um, in a situation where AI is able to take advantage of that and put it into through the intelligence of watsonx data and also the integration tools into the platform. So a lot of times it could be actually doing the work with what's being done or actually the personality of the change management of the company that's needed to actually move forward. Because I think it's both. Because a lot of times companies aren't, they struggle. And how do they want to get ready? Because as we said, 1% is being used. Uh, and that's it's just a dramatic amount. But if that data is not being used, what are they how are they actually benefiting long term? Because it's a big deal. And I think this solves a lot of the problems.
Yeah. So, you talked to a few customers while you were there. And what are you seeing in terms of how companies are actually seeing the benefits when when they have overcome these change management issues and they're really using it? What are the outcomes that you're seeing from
Yeah, and
customers?
that's a good point because I think all everybody should expect to have challenges, and I don't think it's ever going to be easy because you can't just push a button and it's done. There has to be, like you said, the readiness put together. You have to have the data in a from the legacy environment, put in formats or put in a position where it can be adopted by generative AI. But they're seeing benefits as we saw with the US Open and the Masters. But companies are seeing major efficiencies with savings of money with this, and also with task management and exercising generative AI. Um, there's partnerships with EY where they're developed a tax app based upon watsonx.data, and there's banks that are using this to help with their financing arms with saving money and doing tasks. So I think it's across the board. I think I'm being a little vague, but at the same time, if you read the article, you'll be able to see that these companies are saving money from operational IT data using watsonx to help with some of these service tasks that they're usually doing from a manual perspective, and they're able to get consistency through watsonx.data, and then they're getting governance behind it, and everything's being automated at the same time.
So overall, if you're going to just wrap it up in a nice, pretty bow, what was IBM's overall message about scaling AI in enterprises at IBM Think this year?
Yeah, I think there's an urgency to modernize. I think that automation is a winner for companies that feel that they're over compensating manually. You're going to have no choice but to modernize in a way, and this platform is one of those platforms that, with automation and AI and getting your data ready, that is one thing that you can't afford not to look at.
Yeah, it sounds like solving that data challenge is really the critical first step, at least, to making
Yes,
AI effective at scale.
yeah,
Well,
I agree.
this was great. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
your insights. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for everybody who has tuned in. We hope this gives you a clearer picture of how IBM's watsonx data and generative AI are reshaping the enterprise landscape. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review. We're on X, we're on LinkedIn. Let us know what you'd like to hear more about. Stay tuned for more insights from all of the team who's there at IBM Think. We've got Jason Anderson and Will Townsend on the floor there too. And we will see you next time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.